social interaction and socialization. So, while looking at what we have done previously, we come to know that diversity is the first step towards acceptance. The first thing we need to look at is that there is diversity in everything that we come across in life. The teachers, they need to understand that there is also diversity in their own profession. There are different types of teachers with different types of qualifications and merits to display. Therefore, they will be meeting students coming from diverse ranges, and this diversity has to be accepted, not only for the students but also from the stakeholders. The stakeholders are going to be diverse. In the government schools, the government officers would be the stakeholders. In the private sector, the people who are owning the schools would be the stakeholders, and they might have a certain mentality because they might be belonging to a different community. For example, most of the schools run privately are owned by the business community. Therefore, we come to know that there is another community involved, and the stakeholders are different from the ones that we were talking about in the government schools. The teachers need to understand this diversity, not only in the perspective of their students and their school administration, but also in the perspective of the families and the community and the stakeholders who are coming from a different community altogether. For example, the parents who are sending their children in the schools which are charging them high fees have a different perspective for their child to be going in a school for which they have a totally different perspective. Probably they are expecting much more facilities in the school and much more facilitation done by the teachers. So the teachers are not only to consider the diversity of the family culture that their children are coming from, but also they need to understand the diversity in the mentality of the people who are sending their children to that particular school. They also need to understand the diversity in the perspective of the stakeholders. The businessmen community are having those schools to have some profit, and therefore they would be interested to get more admissions in the schools, and the teachers need to understand that in order to have more admissions they have to keep up to some standards. This would be expected by the business community who are running the schools. And then we will come across the NGOs. What are their expectations? They are the stakeholders for those schools they are running as NGOs. So they would be having a different perspective. So there is going to be a large diversity with the stakeholders as well, with which the teachers have to deal with. Harmony, which the teachers need to have with the students, the same level of harmony they need to have with the school staff, the parents, the community, and also the stakeholders. All the deals which are being done with regards to the students and the school must take place in harmony. There has to be no confrontation between the stakeholder and the teacher. If the teacher thinks that the stakeholder is asking something which is not really a good value for the students, she needs to discuss it with the school authorities and, if need be, with the community, with the family and the parents of the child, and then the stakeholders. So there has to be a level of discussion. First, it is just the school by itself where the teacher can mention the concern she has about certain things. And then this can go to the family discussion and then go to the community discussion, and at the end it should go to the stakeholders. So there has to be a process which has to be formal. Whenever the teachers are linking themselves to establish links or to have a dialogue, it has to be with a lot of tolerance and done on a very professional level.